Yes.
Yes.
It's perfect.
Okay, looking on page 1. So it's the back of your first page. Your exam date is Friday, May 6th. That's Friday morning. So you will need to be at school on time. If you are late, they lock you out. They do not refund your money. Nothing. You're just done.
8 o'clock.
You will need to be here earlier. I'm working on seeing if I can't figure out a way to somehow serve breakfast, but we'll see. No promises yet. You need to bring a pencil, eraser, a pen, blue or black ink. That's for your essays, and a watch to the exam. Why would I tell you bring a watch?
So you can find yourself.
All those things that are timed. You need to be able to watch your time. You need to be able to watch your time.
The essay must be in
We have to use a pen.
The essays must be in pen.
Yeah.
Blue or black ink.
That's why it does mark it out.
But not like that baby blue color stuff. No.
Smart lady.
We're talking about people that are going to be grading essays for 8 hours a day for an entire week. More than 8 hours a day. They see thousands of essays. Do not have crappy handwriting and do not use a crappy pen. Because it makes it hard to read, and if it's me, I'm not grading it. I'm moving on to the next one. So, do not bring your cell phone or any other electronic devices to the exam. If you have to bring it to school, we are going to lock them in my room while you go test in the senior cafe area, whatever that is. Okay, you're not taking it in at all. I love you, but you are not taking in anything that's going to make some sort of beepy thing. Like even your watch, I do not even recommend an electronic watch. If they beep beep beep.
What if they just take a really loud bling? Like, you know what I mean?
Good courts just drive me crazy.
Types of questions, we've already kind of gone over this, but I do want to show you the breakdown. If you look under section 1, 80 multiple choice in 55 minutes. 20% of your test is colonial America to 1789. That's when George Washington actually took presidency, is in 1789. So that's about 20 questions. 1790 to 1914 is 36 questions, or 45%. 1915 to the present is 28 questions, or 35%. And you can mark out that next line where it says a fourth of a point is deducted, because that is different this year. Remember, we already went over that. So, yes. That doesn't mean this one. Use your reasoning skills, but you need to be able to think quickly.
They are taking off points now?
No, they're not.
They're not.
0.
We did go over that, right?
Yeah.
Like I
Shows
did.
the email.
You need to read a question and all 5 choices before marking an answer. If A looks right, B might be a better choice. And we've kind of gone over that in class, that there may be more than one right answer. You need to pick the one that is most right. Okay, we've been over that. A, that's it. I got it. Read all 5 choices. And once again, educated guess. Section 2, half your score is the essays. You get 1 hour for the DBQ. 35 minutes approximately for each of the 2 essays. It's just one continuous 70 minutes. But they will tell you when you should be moving on to the next one. So if you're not quite done with the second one, finish the second one, move on to the third. That doesn't mean take all 70 minutes for question 2 and have it be really awesome in your opinion and never get to question 3. You do need to answer question 3.
Just out of curiosity, if you don't answer the same question, they're gonna fail it, aren't they? So.
Well, they average your scores. So if you get a 5 on the DBQ, you get a 6 on the second question, and then you don't even do the third question, you're still at a 5.5. That's still only 11 points total. That's not good. If you had at least started this, maybe if you got a 2, then that helps. Then you're up to 13. So you need to at least get going. You need to get you just have to. You need to at least put
So
something
they
down.
can average the essay too?
Huh?
They average all the writing parts too?
They're all together. Yes.
Oh, and it goes out to be 1 number?
Sort of. It's a big fancy formula that you don't need to worry about. You just need to worry about, you need to do all 3. None of those will do 1980 to the present. That's why everyone keeps asking how far we'll get, and I keep telling you the goal is 1980 before the AP test. That's why. There may be multiple choice questions over 1980 to the present, but there will not be essay questions over them, and so the goal is just 1980. Yes, it is. The red light's on. I'm good. I've had that for a while. I'm good. I just put a little box in there how to pass. You need to be able to write well. You need to be able to think analytically, and I kind of gave you some of what that looks like, making an assertion, defending it with specific, accurate, and relevant information, and anticipate and destroy your counter-arguments in your essay. That means if you know there's another side, being able to show why that's not right somewhere in your essay, but not flip-flopping. And then you usually know a lot of history information. Can I go on? Perfect. Let's talk about how to write your essays, reviewing that. Essay organization, top of page 2, introduction. Provide a thesis that states the central argument for the essay. It needs to be a single sentence that answers the question. If it does not answer the question, you're already in the low category. And it needs to pass the show me test. If someone is reading your thesis, they should think, show me, prove it to me, and then you go on to show them and prove it to them. The intro may also be used to provide background information, definitions of terms, or points of validation. That's optional. It doesn't need to be a big, fluffy, fancy English introduction. Get to the facts. Get to the facts. We don't need the big, fancy, oh, well, he was such a beautiful man, and blah, gag me. I don't care if he was beautiful. I don't care if you think he was great. What did he do? Give me facts. And, give me details to support your opinion. I don't care if you think the man was good looking or if he was great. Prove it to me. Body paragraphs. Do not get hung up on the 3 issue. Like, I know TAS and TAX, it's intro, 3 body paragraphs, conclusion. You may not have 3. You may have 2. You may have 4. You need, I'm not sure what to do for the 3rd one. You just wasted time. Pick what you're doing and move on. You got to do it as quick as possible. We'll come back to those when we look at the rubric. In conclusion, you need to provide a closing statement. It can also be used to provide postscript information. Sum it up for them somehow. Do not leave them on a cliffhanger. Proving, you've been backing up your thing, and then you just kind of leave it off. You need to somehow bring it all back together in 1 or 2 sentences for your conclusion. Any questions about organization? We've been doing that some this year. No questions? Commonly used phrases and essay questions, just to review them, just so there's no question. Assess the validity. You need to examine critically, estimate their merit, estimate their significance. Is it true or not true? Evaluate the relative importance. That's kind of self-explanatory. Why is it important in comparison to other things? Compare and contrast. Things that are similar, things that are different. To what extent? State your overall reaction and response, and then support it. That kind of goes on with to what extent and why. You need to state your response, but you can't say, in my opinion, no personal pronouns. No one cares your actual opinion. It's about what you can argue. I think, no one cares what you think. What can you prove? Just like if I went into a history class, I can't say, well, I think that FDR was a horrible president. FDR is a horrible president because blah, 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 blah. And actually try to find a better word than horrible, more academic. How do you account? That's becoming less and less common, but it's giving reasons why. Where would that have come from? Discuss would be giving reasons with details. Just kind of exploring it from different perspectives, looking at pros and cons. It's just kind of giving an overall information about it. Analyzing, examining carefully to determine why. Separating into parts, examining the parts, how they're part of the whole. And then examine, it's kind of just looking at it, observations. Question about any of those? We good? Ways to categorize historical information in an essay. This is one that I got from someone else. We've also looked at others, like permits. Political is going to be anything having to do with the government, leaders, parties. As in political parties, not woo-hoo, party. No. Political parties, laws, acts, treaties, all that has to go with political. Economic would be like your money, your commerce or trade, your occupations, farming versus industry, that's all economics. Social is like how people live their life, social classes. Education would be social, something that has to do with the people. Cultural, it's kind of like what you've been doing lately with like the 20s and stuff, like their current interests at the time, the fashion, what they do for fun, music, art, literature. Intellectual or ideological, those are your inventions, your philosophies. Religious, anything where they believe or worship something. May not always be God, capital G. Your cults would fall into religion, that kind of stuff. And then military kind of is another anything that has to do with military, armed branches, peacetime, defense, wars. Treaties can also be put with the military if they're ending wars. Question about page 2? Page 3 kind of goes over what we talked about way back in August and September with answering questions. Give yourself about 15, I always tell you 15 minutes to analyze the documents and plan your essay, and then start writing your essay. Once again, that kind of goes back to your watching. We will write quick. Don't think, just write. Read the question, make sure you understand all parts of the question. Read and analyze each document. That kind of goes along with the AP parts that we've done a few times. I've told you, underline information the first time you read it that you think that you can use right away. Like, you may not have time to go back and reread every document, or maybe